Hello Crafties! Today I'm doing a watercolor painting demonstration of some bright colors and how I would do an abstract. First, I'm going to show you an exercise on how to use some of these colors on a credit card to scrape them and then put them into some kind of little painting that I can use as postcards. Stay tuned. Here are my supplies. First of all, I've taped down my paper to a board using masking tape. I have a size 6, a size 10, and a size 8 brush. I have yellow, sage green, cadmium red, and an ultramarine blue, and a credit card. I'm using Canson watercolor paper 9 by 12. I'm going to take each one of these colors and dab a dot of color on the credit card. Here you can see the paint on my credit card. The blue, red, green, and yellow. I've also taped a crosshatch in the center of the paper, down the center and across, and they're about the size of an invitation envelope. Here's the envelope, and here's the box of envelopes that I used for my measure. Now I'm using a spray bottle to spray water on the paper to get it nice and wet. Now I'm going to take the card with the paint on it and swipe it on the paper. Sorry I didn't show the whole procedure of scraping the paper with the card, but this is what the result is. Now I'm taking my brush and kind of teasing out the paint, spreading the paint a little bit more, filling in some of the white areas and blending in some of the colors. I like to do this exercise when I'm trying out new colors or combinations of new colors, sometimes just as a warm-up before I actually paint a larger painting. This is a warm-up exercise to kind of get my creative juices flowing. Now I'm going to do something really wild. I'm going to add salt. I'm going to pinch some salt on the wet paint. If you haven't seen this work before, the salt will absorb some of the paint and water and create texture on the paint. It's hard to see in the yellow, but you can see it start to work over on the right side in that blue. Once it's dry, then I can brush the salt off. Now I'm going to take just a piece of a credit card, a clean one, and scrape some of the paint. This creates more texture, and in some paintings it can create designs that look like rocks. I'm sorry the camera's not picking this up as well as I'd hoped, but you get the idea of scraping to make rocks. There, I hope you can see it a little bit better now that I've turned the board. The next step is to remove the tape from the inside of the design and see how it looks as separate cards. I will cut these apart. I can use them as postcards or write on the back and put them in an invitation envelope as a little greeting card. I will of course sign each one of these at the bottom right corner before I use them. Now I'm going to use scissors and cut the cards apart by cutting right up the white areas, right up the middle and across to get 4 cards. Now you can see the cards a little more individually. This is the invitation envelope, and I'm going to resize and trim the cards so that they will fit into the envelope. Take a look at the texture in this one, those rock scrapings. They really look like rocks, and the trees behind it, and maybe a sunset. You don't know what you're going to get when you do this type of exercise, but it comes out beautiful most of the time. If you like this, give me a thumbs up, but wait, there's more. Now I'm going to do the same kind of scraping motion with a card using the same colors on a larger piece of paper. Here we go. I've pre-wet the paper. Now I'm scraping the same colors across the paper, but I'm not doing it straight. I'm giving it some motion. Next, I'm taking my larger brush, wetting it, and then I'm blending and spreading some of that blue paint up to the top of the paper to create some texture in the sky, some blue in the sky, and just moving some of it, and the white areas may indicate clouds. This is an abstract, therefore you can use your imagination as to what this might look like when it's all finished. I'm using a piece of Kleenex to wipe some of the paint and wetness away from the tape area. I don't want water to get in there. Now I'm dabbing to form more clouds. I'm using the smaller brush to bring out some of the blue in adding texture. Possibly they could look like trees in the background. Now I'm playing with the color and bringing some blue down into the red, and blue and red make purple, which then can create a shadow. I've picked up the card and using my brush, dabbing in on the red to enhance some of the color and to cover some of the white spaces that it didn't quite cover before. Now I'm doing some with the green, trying to add more green. When you blend green and red together, you'll get a neutral or a gray sometimes. Now I'm going to be picking up some of the gold from the card and putting it down below. I've mixed all of the colors together and it's given me this brown color, this reddish brown, which I think is really beautiful. The brown looks kind of like a rock. Now I'm adding more green to indicate some grass or a meadow. I'm adding a little bit more of the darker color across the meadow to add texture and shading. Now I've picked up my trusty little credit card again, and I'm going to be scraping this brown to indicate rocks. I decided to bring more red down into the green area so that some of the green might show up a little better, indicating there might be trees. Now I'm taking the handle of my paintbrush and scraping up into the trees to indicate tree trunks. I've decided that I need a few more trees or foliage down in this area. I'm going to speed this up a little bit and you can see what happens. Now it's time to take the tape off. When you take the tape off, you still have a bit of a white border, so it looks like you have a little frame around it. Taking the tape off must be done slowly and gradually and pull it away from the picture. I have torn many a picture by pulling too fast and too hard. Well, I'm going to call it done. Oh, there's a little wet spot, but that's okay. I'm going to take my pen and sign my name and call this abstract landscape done. If you like the video, please give me a thumbs up. Comment, share, and subscribe. Stay crafty, smart, creative, and safe when painting a watercolor landscape abstract. Thanks so much for watching.